A lot of people were impressed by Ben Davison in this particular video here on the BT Sport Boxing YouTube channel, where he gave a breakdown of the first Wilder Fury fight, specifically the things that Fury was doing, but also some of the things that Wilder was doing, talking about a lot of technical stuff. And as I say, a lot of people were impressed by this. But one person who isn't particularly impressed is Tyson Fury's dad, John. And he has been expressing his displeasure with the job Ben Davison was doing as Tyson Fury's coach, even before Tyson and Ben split up. So in this video here, this roundtable that he has with Paulie Malignaggi, David Haye, and Steve Bunce, he once again reiterates that he doesn't really rate Ben Davison that highly as an elite level trainer. I mean, he says he's a good up and coming trainer with a bright future, but a guy like Tyson Fury needs somebody more experienced. Now, one thing I got after I watched this, and I posted it in my Facebook group at the time when this breakdown came out a couple weeks ago now. I said at the time that based upon what Ben Davison said in this video, I suspect that he learned more from Tyson Fury than Fury learned from him. And that's not a diss towards Ben Davison, because all trainers can learn certain things from some of their fighters. No diss at all. That's how you accumulate knowledge. It's not just a one-way street where the trainer teaches the fighter everything. Sometimes you come across a really talented fighter who's been around a long time, and you're going to learn things from him as well. It's a two-way street. Okay, so no diss to Ben Davison at all. But at the end of the day, Tyson Fury's older than Ben Davison. He's been in boxing longer than Ben Davison. And to be quite honest, in terms of his boxing know-how, he probably knows more than Ben Davison. So when you watch this video, to me, Davison comes across as somebody who has studied Tyson Fury extremely closely, which is what you need to do, obviously. And he understands how Fury's style works in intricate detail. But I don't really get the impression that he knows how to improve upon Fury's style that much. And that's what Tyson Fury basically said himself. He said once he's hooked up with Javon Sugar Hill, he feels like he's learning again now, implying that he wasn't learning anymore under Ben Davison. Yeah? And Tyson Fury is a guy who appears to need that constant stimulation, that he wants to be learning all the time. He wants to be moving forward. He doesn't want to stagnate. And if it seems as though he was stagnating with Ben Davison, who, again, knows Tyson Fury's style, but does he know anything else? Because if you look at, and I'm sure he does know, plenty more stuff, but what I'm saying is, does he learn anything else to teach Tyson Fury? Because if you look at the fights that Fury has been with Davison, Sefer Safiri, Pianetta, the first Wilder fight, Schwartz and Otto Wallin, did that Tyson Fury look any different than the Fury we've seen before? He didn't look much different to me. He was doing all the same things that he'd been doing before, etc., etc. So, again, just to reiterate my point, that's why I suspect that Davison learned more from Fury than Fury learned from him. And I think Fury realized that. He realized that this is a young guy who can't really teach me anything new at this point. The whole issue is, though, and this is something that David Haye brings up in the roundtable, is does Tyson Fury need to learn anything new to beat Deontay Wilder? Because although Fury said he was just tweaking things that he already does well under Ben Davison, John Fury is acting like Tyson Fury needs to do completely different things now. That he needs to go in there and try and stop Deontay Wilder. Is that a wise move? I mean, many people believe it's not. Some people believe it is. John Fury is talking about Tyson coming in heavy, 260, 270 pounds. That sent alarm bells off for David Haye. That's one of the reasons that these two guys are going back and forth in the roundtable, David Haye and John Fury, because David Haye doesn't like the fact that Fury's packing on weight, that he's going for the knockout and all this kind of business. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Sometimes if your trainer isn't teaching you anything new, well, you don't need to be taught anything new. You just need to keep on polishing up what you already do well in order to beat a particular opponent. It's this saying I like to use a lot: don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Because he was a whisker away from getting the victory in the first fight. And that's when he didn't have the backing of ESPN and Bob Arum. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel to go back in there against Wilder. And that's what David Haye says in this roundtable. I 100% concur with that. That's what I've been saying for the past, couple months. Same thing as David Haye. I'd like to see Fury come in light. I'd like to see him box the same way as he did last time, just be a bit sharper. And obviously, having had more time to adjust to being lighter again, because he was obviously over, well over 300 pounds before, maybe close to 400 pounds. Now he's had time to get his strength back and get match sharp and match fit. He should be able to do a better job at doing what he did last time. And that should be enough to get him the victory. I think that, Deontay Wilder can improve. He can make subtle little technical changes, but Tyson Fury can improve far more from a physical point of view, from his strength, from his stamina, from his speed, from, his sharpness. He can improve far more because he was coming back from literally the pits of hell physically. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Is John Fury being unduly harsh on Ben Davison? I said in a video a long time ago that, look, John Fury loves his son. We all know that. But is he a little bit too close to the situation? Because sometimes when a family member is too close to the fighter, they can become so, what's the word I can use? Blinded by their love for their family member that they don't see the forest for the trees. I mean, we've seen that with Chris Eubank Sr., for example. He believes so much in Junior. He was talking about him being better than Floyd Mayweather and all this kind of business. He truly believed in him to that degree. Is there a danger that John Fury could do the same with his son and have an influence over his son that is maybe not the wisest, whereby he seems to be encouraging his son to try and go out there and take Wilder's head off, to knock him out? Not do it recklessly, but still go out there with that intention. Because John Fury is a guy who has a mentality, some people call it a siege mentality, where he feels like the world is against him or the world is against us. And sometimes the world isn't against you. And if you go out there thinking the world is against you, you can actually end up, it can end up backfiring. Yeah? Changing your tactics so dramatically because you think the world's never going to give your son a decision. Well, he got a decision over Klitschko in Germany. So how against your son can the world really be? When he went to Klitschko's backyard and got a decision. I think he could do the same with Wilder. So, yeah. Some food for thought there, people. Let me know what you guys think. It's happening, I'm out. Hatman merch is now available. We got t-shirts, vests, hoodies, and more. Just click the link below. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.